Around 2 years ago, I made a video called Moron's Guide on How to Tackle the Backlog. In that video, I gave some tips and tricks to help others with backlogs of their own. And with it being as long as it's been after making that video, you think I'd move on from the topic. But since last year, I've been thinking about the video, and after watching it, I never felt like the topic was put to bed. Like, I always wanted to make another part talking about it, and I've been doing it for the same amount of time. Before we dive into the topic, we need to first talk about what a backlog is. I would describe a backlog as a list of a form of media that you've either started or want to start. That last part might make you think of a wish list, and you aren't wrong for thinking that, but the difference is with the backlog, you've bought the item. In my case, it's with video games, although it can be applied to any form of media. The other question we have to ask is, how are these built up? Backlogs are typically built up of months or years of buying things on sale. For example, during Steam's summer sale a little while ago, I bought Oriole Wings of Hope, Yakuza Kiwami, Froggo's Venture, Siam, Pseudo Regalia, Dead Space 3, the entirety of Kingdom Hearts, Peak, Mainframes, and Resident Evil 7. Now, some of these games are short. For example, Froggo's Venture I beat in less than a half an hour, and Pseudo Regalia and Mainframes I beat in a couple hours. But this still leaves 10 plus games I have yet to play and probably won't get into in months. And that's how the problem gets bigger. You know, the more I've been thinking about it, the more I realize it's just one big procrastination issue. So as to how many people this relate to, I have no idea. But if you're watching this video, have something else to go do it. At the time of writing, I have a little under 30 games on my backlog, which compared to tons of people, that isn't a lot. But I've got some tricks up my sleeve to help you, dear viewer, on how to better maintain your backlog. Keyword being maintain. See, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You will never finish your backlog unless you cut ties with that form of media or have some insane willpower. Your backlog will always be changing. Like, at one moment, I could be sitting at 15 games to play, and the next thing you know, I'm at 25 games because I want to go on a little shopping spree. I've seen videos that talk about how to crush your backlog and how I finished my backlog in 6 months, and I have nothing against these videos. They're all great videos. However, and this might be me speaking personally, it feels unrealistic. Hell, despite me making a channel talking about video games, I really don't play them as much as you might think. I tend to play them almost exclusively at night. Even when I have time to play them during the day, I prefer to do other things during that time, whether if it's cleaning or drawing. And that's fine. Not to mention other things I have to do, like working in school. It tends to be a lot. Sometimes there's been moments where I'll sit down on my computer after a long day and tell myself that new game I've been wanting to play, I can't right now because it isn't the right time. Let me say that again. It's not because I don't have enough energy to play something new or want to do something else. It's because I don't think it's the right time. And this ties in with my next trick, which is there will never be a good time to play a game. This was a mindset I needed to get rid of. The idea of not a good time really slowed me down on games to play. I'd say the only applicable times to use this is when you're already playing a couple games. And not to get philosophical or anything, but in general, you should be able to treat yourself. I have a hard time treating myself to things besides video games because I know I enjoy them. Like going to a restaurant or getting that plushie I've been wanting for so long. There's always a part of my brain that goes, you should save your money. Which, unless I'm saving for a major purchase, there's no reason to have that thought. It's not like I'm irresponsible with my money either, so the topic becomes even more confusing. And I know I'm not the only one. Maybe there's that candle in your room that you've saved for a good time. Maybe there's a new sushi place you want to try. Or maybe something as simple as a good nap. You deserve to be happy. And going back to the original topic, it helps me play newer games at a much quicker time. I tend to jump from one game to the next, and because of that, it helps me tackle the backlog a lot quicker. Now, hearing all this, you might be wondering what's the point of me even starting to keep track of my media. And everyone's answer may vary, but mine is to get my money's worth. I spent my hard-earned money on these games, so I want to experience them, otherwise it feels like I'm giving my money away. However, it's it's something I don't put stress on because they're there for me to play anytime. In the previous video I made, I mentioned how backlog shouldn't be viewed as a checklist, but it's just there to motivate you to keep trying new things. As if it isn't obvious already, I haven't finished my backlog, and I don't plan on to. I want this here with me to keep track of games I want to play, because at the end of it all, that's what it's about, just trying something new. And removing a game from the backlog feels really rewarding, knowing I gave it a shot, knowing I at least tried it. And if there's a game you don't like or it just isn't clicking, then remove it. Why are you spending your time doing something you aren't enjoying? That's something I've been struggling with accepting. There's going to be things I don't like that many people do, and that's totally fine. I know I gave it as much of a shot as I wanted and I wasn't satisfied with the product. That doesn't mean I'm weird or have a bad opinion, it just means I don't like that thing. That's what makes us human. There's going to be things that we mutually like or dislike or anything in between. I want to end this video by saying that whether you decide to join me and the many others doing this, or you just don't do anything, move on to the next video, I'm glad you at least heard me out. Just remember that if you decide to take on the challenge, don't stress yourself out about it. This is more for fun than anything else. If you enjoyed this video, then there's a playlist that'll take you to other videos like this one in a few seconds, and if you enjoyed those, then subscribing is the best way to support me. I have things planned where we reach both 500 and 1K, so if you do, that'd mean a lot to me. Thanks for watching and have a good day.